Today, we are going to delve into a topic that often stirs a lot of discussion in the photography community: manual focus versus autofocus lenses. The choice is not as clear-cut as it might seem, even for action photography. Whether you're a long-time professional or a passionate hobbyist, understanding the nuances between these two types of lenses can greatly impact your shooting experience. You can take great pictures with both of them, but there are numerous differences all the same. Manual focus lenses are often revered by photographers who appreciate a hand-on approach on their craft. These lenses require the photographer to physically adjust the focus ring to achieve sharpness. Let's explore some of the advantages and disadvantages of using manual focus lenses. Advantages of manual focus lenses. 1. Precision and control. One of the most significant advantages of manual focus lenses is the precision they offer. By manually adjusting the focus, photographers can achieve pinpoint accuracy, especially useful in situations where depth of field is extremely shallow. This level of control can be incredibly satisfying and rewarding. Plus, if you make a mistake, at least it will be your fault, not the camera's. For static pictures like landscape, still life, architectural, manual focus is a no-brainer. 2. Build quality and aesthetics. Many manual focus lenses are built with exceptional craftsmanship. They often feature all-metal constructions, giving them a durable and premium feel. The tactile feedback of the focus ring alone can make the photography experience more engaging and immersive, offering much smoother focusing experience. 3. Consistency. Manual focus lenses are generally consistent and reliable. There's no dependency on the camera's autofocus system, which can sometimes be unpredictable, especially in challenging lighting conditions. With manual focus, what you see is what you get. Even in situations where you might think autofocus has a clear advantage, for example with kids, it is not necessarily so. Sure, AF is faster, but as we saw, it can hunt or miss entirely the intended subject. Manual focus sure is slower, but you can focus exactly where you want. And I will take a slightly unfocused picture of an instant that I wanted over a perfectly focused one of the wrong moment. And you can focus faster. Just focus roughly on your subject using the lens, then rock back and forth and shoot when you see the subject in perfect focus. You can also use this technique with moving subjects, using continuous shooting to nail the focus. 4. Compatibility. Manual focus lenses are often compatible with a wide range of camera bodies, including vintage film cameras and modern digital bodies, especially mirrorless bodies. This versatility can be a significant advantage for photographers who enjoy experimenting with different formats and different lenses. It means that you will have to spend just once and then you will be able to use the same lens on different bodies. Disadvantages of manual focus lenses. First, learning curve. Using manual focus lenses effectively requires practice, like most things in life, and skill. Beginners might find it challenging to achieve sharp focus, especially in fast-paced shooting environments like street photography or sports events. Second, speed. Make no mistake, you will miss shots with manual focus. It's just that the ones that you will not miss will be probably the ones that you actually wanted. Manual focusing can be slow, which might result in missed opportunities, especially when photographing moving subjects. Autofocus lenses can have an advantage in the situations where speed is crucial. Third, eyesight dependency. This is a point that gets more and more important as you get older. Manual focus relies heavily on the photographer's eyesight. Poor eyesight or shooting in low light conditions can make manual focusing difficult or just a pain, even with focus aids like magnifiers or focus peaking. It's a bit different with a rangefinder. That's a little bit easier, but not as easy as just using autofocus. Understanding autofocus lenses. Autofocus lenses, on the other hand, leverage advanced technology to assist photographers in achieving sharp focus, hopefully quickly and accurately. Advantages of autofocus lenses. First of all, speed and convenience. The most apparent advantage of autofocus lenses is their speed and convenience. Autofocus systems can lock onto subjects almost instantaneously, which is particularly beneficial for capturing fast-moving subjects, obviously, such in sports or wildlife photography. 2. Accuracy in dynamic situations. Modern autofocus tracking can perform essentially miracles. Modern autofocus systems, especially those with advanced tracking capabilities, can maintain focus on moving subjects with remarkable accuracy. This is something manual focus lenses struggle with, making autofocus lenses a better choice for dynamic shooting environments. 3. Ease of use. Autofocus lenses are more user-friendly, making them ideal for beginners or photographers who prefer to concentrate more on composition and lighting rather than technical focusing. With autofocus, the camera does the heavy lifting, allowing the photographer to focus on other aspects of their craft. No pun intended. 4. Low light performance. Many modern autofocus lenses perform exceptionally well in low light conditions, especially when paired with modern bodies, thanks to features like image stabilization built-in and advanced focusing algorithms. This can be a significant advantage when shooting in challenging lighting situations. That being said, IBIS has changed things a little bit in this regard. So you can use even a manual focus lens in these conditions with great success. Disadvantages of autofocus lenses. First, dependence on technology. This is a big one, especially if you like older lenses, older lineup of lenses. One of the downsides of autofocus lenses is their dependence on the camera's focus system. In some scenarios, the autofocus might struggle, especially in low contrast or backlit situations, leading to missed shots. The lens can break altogether just because of something electronic, especially if you expose it to humidity, high humidity, or rain or whatnot, if it's not properly sealed. 2. Potential for focus hunting. This, in my opinion, is the best reason to prefer, generally speaking, manual focus lenses, at least for my own work. Autofocus lenses can experience focus hunting, where the lens continuously shifts focus back and forth, struggling to lock onto a subject. This can be extremely frustrating and infuriating, especially in critical moments. They might also lock focus not where you want. Like I said, I prefer slightly or even completely unfocused image of the moment that I wanted to capture instead of a perfectly sharp one of a boring moment. 3rd, complexity and weight. The added complexity of autofocus lenses, including motors and electronic components, often makes them heavier and bulkier compared to manual focus lenses. This can be a huge drawback for photographers who prefer lightweight and compact gear. Count me in this category. Not for anything, my favorite lens is a Minolta M-Rock 40mm that barely protrudes from any camera body you will mount it on. When to use manual focus lenses. Now let's discuss when you might want to choose a manual focus lens over an autofocus lens. First of all, macrophotography. In macrophotography, where the depth of field is extremely shallow, manual focus lenses offer the precision needed to achieve the desired sharpness. The ability to fine-tune focus is critical in these close-up situations. Portrait photography. Yes, modern cameras are amazing. They can pinpoint an eye. You can even choose if the right eye, the left eye, etc. But manual focus lenses can still be beneficial in portrait photography, especially when using lenses with wide apertures. The precise control over focus allows photographers to ensure that the detail you want are sharp, while achieving, if you so wish, a beautiful background completely blurred. Yes, IF is great, but you might not want to focus on that all the time. Maybe you don't want an eye in focus, you want something else. If with some brands, it tends to focus on the eyelashes instead of the actual eye anyway. Landscape photography. This is a no-brainer. For landscape photography, where subjects are often static and time is available to carefully compose and focus, manual focus lenses can be an excellent choice. Consistency, reliability of manual focus beats speed all the time in these scenarios. Besides, you will be most likely exposed to the elements, so rain, snow, whatever. And manual focus lenses, even when they are not sealed, and as long as you protect them just a little bit, will be fine. Vintage lens enthusiasts. Photographers who enjoy vintage lenses or experimenting with different optics will find manual focus lenses particularly appealing. These lenses often have unique optical characteristics that can add a distinctive look to your images. And you can make an investment just once and then use the same lenses over and over on multiple brands, on multiple bodies. It's a little bit like with brushes for a painter. Different brushes will give you different results, and vintage lenses offer you this kind of richness that often modern lenses lack. When to use autofocus lenses? There are photography scenarios where autofocus lenses excel, especially if you're a professional photographer, especially if you have to take the images home. So let's explore these scenarios where autofocus lenses are the better choice. Obviously, sports and wildlife photography. Sports and wildlife photography, where subjects are moving all the time quickly, autofocus lenses are invaluable. The speed and accuracy of an autofocus system enable photographers to capture sharp images of fast-moving subjects that otherwise would be nearly impossible to actually get. Event photography. For similar reason, even in event photography, where guests and people moves around all the time, an autofocus lens can be invaluable. Wedding, concert. That being said, this is more a matter of preferences. For example, I strongly prefer manual focus lenses for this kind of photography. And photography, such as weddings or concerts, often involves dynamic and unpredictable scenes. Autofocus lenses allow photographers to act quickly and capture fleeting moments without worrying about manually focusing. That being said, like I said, I prefer the consistency of manual focus glass. Street photography. In street photography, the ability to quickly lock focus on subjects is crucial. At least on paper, autofocus lenses provide the speed and convenience needed to capture candid moments as they unfold. In reality, though, the best solution, as long as you have enough light, is to resort to zone focusing, relying on stopping down the aperture to compensate slight focusing errors thanks to the depth of field. Nothing beats the speed of zone focusing, not even the most recent, the most modern autofocus systems. Low light situations, nighttime cityscapes, indoor events. When shooting in low light conditions, autofocus lenses with advanced focusing systems and image stabilization can make a significant difference. They can help achieve sharp focus even in challenging lighting conditions. That being said, when the light gets really low, you will be often better off just using manual focus with a bright screen or just shining a light on the subject if you can, and accept that your images will be more likely than not a touch soft, finding a balance. You can switch between manual and autofocus lenses all you want, but you have to find a balance at some point. As with many aspects of photography, the choice between manual focus and autofocus lenses is not about one being definitely better than the other. It's about finding the right tool for the job and understanding the strengths and limitations of each type of lens. Your personal preferences and shooting style will play a significant role in determining which type of lens is best for you. Some photographers might prefer the tactile experience and precision of manual focus lenses, while others might lean towards the speed and convenience of autofocus lenses. The best solution is experiment and explore. Experiment with various lenses in different settings and try to understand what works best for you. I encourage you to experiment with both types of lenses in various settings. Try using manual focus lenses in controlled environments where you have the time to compose your shot carefully, and test autofocus lenses in dynamic situations where speed is essential. Then do the opposite. This hands-on experience will help you understand the unique benefits of each type and how they align with your photographic needs. And now a few tips for using manual focus lenses. To get the most out of your manual focus lenses, here are a few tips that can enhance your experience and improve your results. First of all, use focus peaking. It's amazing how precise you can be just using focus peaking, especially if it's well implemented in your specific body. Many modern cameras offer focus peaking, which highlights the in-focus areas in your frame. The feature can be incredibly helpful when you are using manual focus lenses, as it provides a visual aid to ensure your subject is actually sharp. Magnify your view. This is probably the best method actually, if you have the time to do so, or if you have a camera like the X-T1, for example, the Fuji X-T1 that has a double screen. It has the magnify function in your camera to zoom in on your subject while focusing. This allows for the most precise kind of adjustment, especially in critical focus situations like macro or portrait photography. Practice, practice, practice. Nothing beats practice. Honing your skills is essential. Manual focusing is a skill that improves with practice. Spend time familiarizing yourself with the focus ring of your lenses and how they behave at different distances and apertures. Over time, you'll develop a better feel for achieving sharp focus quickly and accurately. Is that particular lens loose? It's a bit rough? It's a bit hard to turn? These are all things that are specific to your lenses and to your lenses only. As long as you practice, you will be able to pick up these nuances. Use a tripod. Especially if you're shooting landscape or portrait photography, use a tripod for stability, but also to have the time to critically focus on your subject. Using a tripod can provide the stability that you need to fine-tune your focus without worrying about camera shake. This is particularly useful when working with narrow depth of field, telephoto lenses, or long exposure times. Tips for using autofocus lenses. To maximize the benefits of using autofocus lenses, consider these tips to enhance your shooting experience and capture better images. Understand your autofocus modes. Modern cameras offer various autofocus modes such as single point f, continuous f, and tracking f. Understanding when to use each mode can make a significant difference in achieving sharp focus. As a rule of thumb, use continuous f for moving subjects and single point f for static subjects. But the best thing you can do is study your camera's manual. This is a little bit controversial because some people love it, some people hate it. But use back button focusing if you can. It's a way of decoupling the focusing action, the beginning of the focusing action of your camera, from the shutter button. Back button focusing separates the focusing function from the shutter button, allowing you to lock focus with your thumb and take the shot with your index finger. This technique can improve your focus accuracy and speed, especially in fast-paced shooting environments. Keep your lens and sensor clean. This is often forgotten. You should be cleaning your camera lenses and sensor. Autofocus relies on contrast. Dust and smudges on your lens or your sensor can interfere with your autofocus system. Regularly clean your gear to ensure optimal performance and avoid focus hunting or inaccurate focus. I'm really guilty of this. I practically never clean my gear unless it's really in terrible conditions. Update your firmware. Having the latest firmware on your camera can make all the difference in the world. And having the latest firmware on your lenses, if you got an autofocus lens, can improve even more your experience with the focusing. Camera manufacturers frequently release firmware updates that improve autofocus performance and add new features. So keep your camera's firmware up to date to take advantage of these enhancements and ensure your autofocus system is operating at its best. Sometimes the best approach is to combine both manual and autofocus techniques, depending on the situation and your desired outcome. Here's how you can effectively integrate both methods into your workflow. Use autofocus to get close, then fine-tune the focus with manual focus. This way you will get a little bit of the speed that IF gets you and the precision that manual focus can get you. Start by using autofocus to quickly lock onto your subject. Then switch to manual focus to fine-tune the sharpness. And this is especially useful in critical focusing conditions. With some brands like Fuji, you can implement this approach in an even easier way. Challenging lighting conditions where autofocus might struggle, switch to manual focus. This gives you direct control over the focus and avoids the frustration of focus hunting. Experiment with focus bracketing. This is not always feasible, but depending on the situation, it might save the day. Some cameras offer focus bracketing, where the camera takes multiple shots at different focus points. This can be particularly useful in some kind of photography, allowing you to choose the sharpest image or stack the images for greater depth of field. You can achieve the same results even with cameras that do not offer this kind of function, as long as the subject doesn't move, obviously. Just stacking the images manually, focusing one shot after the other deeper and deeper into the frame. Use manual focus for creative control. Manual focus can be a powerful tool to creative expression. Use it selectively to focus on specific parts of your scenes, creating unique compositions and artistic effects that might be difficult to achieve with autofocus. Choosing between manual focus and autofocus lenses is a personal decision that depends on your shooting style, the subjects you photograph, the conditions you work in. Both types of lenses have their unique advantages and can complement each other beautifully in a well-rounded photography kit. At the end of the day, the best lens is the one that allows you to capture your vision most effectively, is the one that you pick up the most. Embrace the strength of both manual and autofocus lenses, but don't be afraid to experiment and explore their capabilities. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel for more photography tips and education, and feel free to leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you use these lenses in your photography. I'm going to see you in the next video. Happy pictures! Also, you might find interesting this video here.